In this video, we're going, excuse me, still getting over a bit of a cough, so throat is still itchy and whatnot, but seems to be okay. Now we're going to make a lemon meringue pie, but I'm going to do something a bit different. Have you ever wanted to make a tart shell, pie shell, or pie dough in general, but have no butter, you don't really want to run to the store? That's fine. I'm going to show you a quick and easy pie shell that uses oil, flour, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of milk to come together for a nice, easy, flaky pie crust. So in my bowl, now I've had this recipe. The original recipe makes two 9-inch shells, basically top and bottom. So I halved it because I am making a lemon meringue pie, so I only need the bottom shell. So I have my flour here in the bowl. I'm actually going to get a spatula, if I can find one. Yeah. Will be nice today. And just stirring together salt and flour. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, as we are going to blind bake this pie crust. So make a little hole in the middle, and here you're going to want to pour your oil. And your milk. All in. Okay. Start mixing it together. Until it starts to come together. Like so. Okay. Jewelry comes off. Hands are clean. If you need a little extra flour, get some. Just a tiny bit. And start working it all together by hand. Okay, just like so. Don't want to leave too much in the bowl. Okay, put the bowl aside. Now I'm going to grab some waxed paper. Not just parchment, but waxed paper. And we're going to need this a few more times just to make sure it comes together as solid as possible. So I guess you really don't need the flour after all. But hey, good to have just in case. Okay, so now I have it formed into a bowl. That. Bring the wax paper up and over. Move any dirty stuff out of the way. I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm not using an actual pie plate. I'm using a tart pan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start pressing this down right in the middle. Okay. And get my rolling pin. You may need to readjust. The wax paper a couple times. But you want to roll this as thin as you can to get into a 9-inch pie tin or tart with a little bit of overlap. Okay, now, see, it's rolled out. Now the good thing with this is, you pick it up and flop it on your tart shell. And then as best as you can, hopefully better than me, flip it into your shell, like so. Now, the good thing with this dough is if it cracks anywhere or anything like that, guess what? It's easily fixable. So you want to get this into all the crevices, all the corners, as good as possible. And you're going to slowly go around, pinch off the excess. Now you'll see up there on that side, over here, I need to add some dough. That's fine. So we'll just take some of these bits of scrap and put it in there. As you can see, it's very forgiving. Anything's fixable. Nothing to worry about at all. It doesn't have to be perfect. No holes. Just like so. Okay, now grab a fork and we're going to slightly dock it. Basically, we're going to do this. Now this is just to make sure that there's no air bubbles. sides. Some of you are probably thinking, oh, I'm crazy because I'm using a tart shell. Well, nobody said that was normal. Okay, now that goes into 400-degree oven. I am putting it on a cookie sheet, like so I can take it out easy. And this goes in for about 10-15 minutes. So it's just starting to turn brown. Okay. I've just taken the crust out of the oven. I'll give you a quick look. There it is. Close up. Ooh. Okay, we're going to let that cool slightly. Now, while that is cooling, we're going to make the filling and the meringue top all in one go. Or as fast as we can. So, and yet, just like other videos, I will have the recipe for this down below. So, in a medium pot, over medium heat, you want agua, water, for those who don't understand my own language. Sugar. Cornstarch. A little pinch or two of salt. Here you can see I have the zest, just about 2 lemons. And the juice of about 4 lemons, all in. Okay. Now give me 1 second, I'm going to reposition my camera. Okay, so as you can see, excuse me, I have this coming up to temperature, or at least attempting to. Seems to want to go, but taking this time. I'm just breaking up the bigger clumps of lemon zest and stirring, because we do want to bring this up to a slight boil. You obviously want to melt the sugar and get the cornstarch going. While you're at this point, what you can do is separate 5 large eggs. The yolks separated from the whites. Okay, once you see a lot of bubbles and the mixture is thick, slowly stream some into the eggs. This is called tempering the eggs. We want to bring the eggs up to temperature, but we don't want to scramble the eggs. So slowly add some of the meringue, or not the meringue, the lemon filling to the eggs. Back onto the heat. Then I'm going to add the eggs back to this mixture. Stirring fast. Remember, we don't want any scrambled eggs. This would be easier if I had a whisk. I do not. My kitchen kit is in my truck. That's okay. I'm doing good. And in this meantime, you want to turn this down to low. Because now you want to bring everything back up to temperature. And when bubbles start forming at the top is when you're done. See, right now we have the nice yellow lemon curd color that we're all used to. Okay, I've got bubbles breaking the surface, as you can probably see. I'm going to turn that off. Now we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to mix this together. Okay, now here comes the best part. This is probably not all going to fit. I'm going to put this into this tart shell and hope for the best. Oh, maybe it will. Okay, now I'm going to let this cool for a bit. And while this is cooling, we're going to go get the meringue ready. Okay, so over here on the dark side of the kitchen, I have the 5 egg whites that we separated earlier in a very clean mixing bowl attached to my mixer. I'm going to put it on high. Okay. To this, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Let that get nice and foamy. A little higher if you want. And we're going to slowly add a half a cup of sugar. What we want are stiff peaks, but we want them glossy and shiny. Now, when they've grown in size, what I like to do, see, we're almost there. I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl. Give it a couple more seconds. Okay, over to the pie. Okay, so now if you're ambitious enough, you can put the meringue into a piping bag, make a design, blah blah blah. I'm not doing that. Just gonna lay this on there. spread them out. May not look the neatest, but it's going to taste damn good. Now during this whole process, I did leave my oven on. I've lowered it to 350 degrees. And yes, I'm using all this meringue because I have nothing else to use it for. Some of you may think this is overkill. I don't care. Okay, so now this goes back into the oven on 350 for about 20-25 minutes, or until the meringue is nice and toasty. Okay, so it's been about a half hour. I'm going to take this out of the oven now and put it on a wired rack to start cooling down. As you can see, we have a evenly toasted dome of goodness sizzling away. I'm going to leave that out here on the wired rack for about an hour and then move it to the fridge to cool the rest of the way, and then we'll cut into it, taste it, and see how it is.